I'm good. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Welcome everyone to a hot tea with pleasures where we keep it raw or real and we will lubricate your life.
Mm-hmm.
I am Teresa here in the beautiful island of Barbados. Me and my wine and my
I'm
another
Hillary,
host.
and on Interior Canada, and I'm here with my bubble tea.
It's
um,
almost finished.
so what do you want about
But
Teresa?
okay, I'm wondering about we are still in hurricane season and the weather 1 minute is hot and I mean hot and sticky and sweaty and then a minute it is cool with lots of showers. Today we had some thunder as well, not a lot, but we had lots of showers. I was told we had showers from last night, but I didn't see that. I didn't hear that until this morning. When my head hit that pillow, I'm asleep.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that's my one. We're still in hurricane season, but all's good, no damages so far, and I hope it continues to be that way. Now, what are you whining about, Miss Hillary?
What am I whining about? I'm whining the fact that they have some people. I'm going to say this. Uh, when it comes to mental health, you know how I'm serious I am about mental health, and helping, what help looks like. And you have to be in a place in your life where you can accept your mistakes and you can be accountable for your mistakes and be okay with saying you're accountable for your mistakes. So I'm whining about people that say they want to help but don't want to show their flaws in helping. The end.
Well.
I'm
Just
gonna
love
keep it.
that.
I'm gonna keep it raw, real in there. How about that?
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it right there. That's good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay, I'm just making sure I can see us in case anything happens with my laptop, because it has been jumping around this evening.
It's jumping
Good.
around. The laptop's jumping around.
Yeah, flashing in and out.
Okay,
Most of
let's
the
talk about. So let's talk about
good.
mental health in Barbados, and you know how I
Mm-hmm.
feel about. Let me tell you something. I'm writing a book, and the book is called "F That I'm Black." It's coming out in December for my birthday, and one thing we in the Black community do, and being from Barbados, we tend to minimize mental health, and I noticed that it's starting to get a little bit more attention now compared to years ago. We tend to see it that the person's struggling or they are strong, or we have all these adjectives for it other than that they're not okay. Okay? So we're going to go in. We're not going to talk about the suicides in detail that happened that got the attention, but we're going to talk about why mental health is not spoken about as much as it should be or advocated enough. Where to get help, tips, how do you know you should maybe seek some help, and what Barbados is doing about it. And there's a really good campaign coming up. So, anyhow, Teresa's going to start off the evening and talk about the mortality rate in Barbados, and then we're going to take it from there and go into different things. Just talk.
Okay, the suicide mortality rate for the year, in a year, say for 100,000 population that we are here,
I'm having technical difficulties.
the
Sorry. Go on.
age is adjusted. So for 2016,
Yeah.
for 2016, start from 2016 come up. From 2016, it was 0.6, and it didn't increase from 2015, and it was like that from 2016, 17, and 18. There was no increase, and there was none in 2018. However, as Hillary mentioned, recently, 2023, we have had a number of suicide deaths,
Yep.
as they will say, completed suicide in Barbados. And the ages, it wasn't, well, you can't put a really age to it, but the ages of these persons were like in their 20s. And they happen quite frequently, well, behind each other. So that has caused some concern. However, during the COVID period, there was a lady, her name is Sarah.
Okay.
Yes, Sarah Sintnet. She was the coordinator of the mental health hotline in Barbados. And we're gonna have it posted in our chat 2647151. That had started in 2021 of October of that year, around the time of the pandemic, I should say.
Okay.
She's the coordinator. So around that time she launched that program and that hotline, because we find around that time there were a lot of persons, having to deal with the change. It played a role in person's life they couldn't adjust. So that hotline was set up, but mainly for that purpose. However, as Hilary was mentioning before, a lot of people have this stigma that is attached to when you have mental illness, and they keep quiet about it. They don't share. There are not much communication within workplaces, communities talking about it. So when Hilary, are you frozen?
No, I'm not frozen. I'm sending stuff to
okay.
I'm sending
Hilary's
chats out.
gonna give you some more information on what the government has put in place, and then I will tell you a bit more on signs to look for with persons that are suffering with mental health silently.
Okay. So one of the things that they did, I think, was really, really smart. Sorry?
Go on.
Oh, okay. One of the things that I thought that was really smart, what they did, and maybe we should take, hi, baby Eiffel, how you doing? Maybe we should take a little bit of, a page out of their book. The local, the PAM American Health Organization, PAHO, they hosted a sensational, sensitized workshop teaching media personnel, from print to radio to television, anchors, etc. They hosted a workshop on suicide prevention and sensitizing and how to report that, on the radio or on television or wherever in print media. Because when I first started, where people were, sending the information out and advertising this information or broadcasting this information, it wasn't done in a very discreet way, and it was causing a lot of triggers for people. And this is actually, before we go any further, I want to put a disclaimer out for us. Tonight's episode may contain some triggers for some people. If you are easily triggered or think that this is not something that you can get through safely or without support, please and watch it at a different time. So getting back to this, so again, the local journalists, the communication specialists, representatives from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, they receive useful information from the PAM American Health Organization about sensitizing suicide in the media. And the workshop increased there was an increased number of suicides being committed in Barbados, and so the participants were asked very important questions and play a very important role and responsibility as people reporting this kind of public health issue. And so they wanted to make sure that they were handling it properly. And I think we need it here in North America. I'll tell you that, because sometimes, man, they would just go on and on and on about the story and not think about the fact that it could be a trigger to some person watching, or to children, right? There was a training session from the chief medical doctor, the most honorable Kenneth George, and he disclosed that the Ministry of Health and Wellness is in progress of establishing a suicide hotline and where persons can seek help. And that is amazing, because last year when we did mental health in Barbados, and we tried looking for some kind of help, you couldn't find anything.
None.
It was so hard. The only place that we could find was, so I'm going to age myself. They would call it the Green Gates. And they call it, what's the name of the mental hospital? What do they call it?
Psychiatric hospital.
No, what do they call it?
Jenkins.
So in Barbados, people would make fun. They would make jokes around Jenkins. They would call it Jenkins, and
you're going to Jenkins.
You're going to Jenkins, and they would make fun of people that went there, and they would have all these different, folk tales or whatever, and it was all the entire conversation was always negatively impacted, right? And so who would want to associate with themselves with that kind of stigma, right? No one. So mental health was not something that was spoken about or even focused in on
a lot
outside
of silent about that.
Exactly, right? So that's great that they're going to have a suicide. I am excited about that. And once we're finished, we're going to share that information with you. If you want more information about that, make sure you check out our YouTube channel on the platform description. We will have all this information after the show. Teresa.
Okay, my part now, and Hillary, feel free to join in and add more if you like. First, let's ask ourselves, what is mental health? What would you say it is for you?
Mental health?
A layman term, as they would say. If someone came up to you, you did a presentation, how would you start out saying?
It's how I'm doing, how I'm doing, and how I'm managing.
Okay, so mental health has to do with your emotions, your psychological, and your social well-being. Those are three main things that mental health goes with. It affects how you think, how you feel about yourself and your surroundings, the people around you. It affects how you act. It affects how you make choices and how you relate to others. Okay? It is more than the absence of mental illness. It is essential to your overall health and quality of life. Self-care can play a role, and we always talk about self-care and self-love. Self-care can play a role in maintaining your mental health. You see, we have a lot of more people joining the chat.
Yeah, hi. Okay, hi, hello, Victor. Hi, Petra. Welcome. They're saying good night to everyone. Good night to all of you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to put a little, a little blast out. Actually, I think you can do it too on our Instagram, just saying, we're over here. Okay. Yeah, go on.
So self-care can play a role in maintaining your mental health and help support your treatment and recovery if you have any mental illness. Okay, for those who just joined us, we're talking about mental health in Barbados, and Hillary had just mentioned about the hotline that they have started since October 2021. And this came out from the pandemic, because a lot of people, the big change that we had to make in all aspects of our lives. But a person didn't know how to cope, and they were stressed out. Some people couldn't go outside. We have this saying, now we outside. So that's where the hotline has, started to, launch. It was launched around that time, October 2021, and the coordinator is Sarah. I keep forgetting her last name. Sarah. Hold on. Okay, I'll get it for you soon. Sarah Stinnett is the coordinator of the mental health hotline. And that
if you hear noise in my background, I'm so sorry and apologize.
I'm not hearing anything. Okay. 264-7151. and our social marketer, she will drop that in our description so that you guys can have that information to hand. You know, we have this thing with these magnets with emergency numbers. We can kind of add that one to the to that to those numbers, because you never know when you may need it or when you may need it for someone. Okay. Hi,
This is
Jesse
horrible.
Cass. Okay, so self-care was one of the first topics. So self-care means taking the time out to do things. Mental health is very misunderstood. Yes, it is.
Can
Self-care,
you go upstairs, please?
it is going to be with business in the background. Self-care is taking the time out to do things that will help you live well, improve both your physical health and your mental health. When it comes to your mental health, self-care can help you manage stress, lower your risk of illness, and increase your energy.
Oh, we keep it
Even
so
small
raw and
acts
real.
of self-care, sorry?
I said we keep it so raw and real here. Oh my God. Go on, continue. Sorry.
Even small acts of self-care in your daily life can have a big impact on what you do. So we're gonna give you some tips, and you can get your notepad and drop them down. If you're a real good listener, we have about 7, 8 of them.
There's one step before we get started. I just want to read some of the stuff that's in the chat, and then I want to say something. Uh, yeah, finally I stayed at home tonight. No, not on the road. It's Baby Eiffel. Um, Baby Eiffel said mental health is very misunderstood, and that is so true. Something I'm going to say when it comes to mental health and self care and self love and whatever, the person has to get to self care and self love first, and so that's where the support system comes in. If they don't have a support system, recognizing um, where you are and that you probably do need help and how to get there. So maybe we should start with the tips first, or sorry, the symptoms of that something is going on. Maybe you should start with that first so that we can help people realize maybe to check in. I always have put a hashtag up sometimes. I'll send it out to my friends, or I'll send it out here on Instagram. I'll say checking on your strong friend, because it's always the one that you think is so strong, you know, that is not strong. They're strong because they have to be, because they don't want, you know, they're always the person trying to help others, and they're trying so hard to hold on. So it might look like they're being strong, but they're probably just trying. Okay, so let's look at the tips first, the signs first that something might
Self-care.
be going on. Yeah.
Okay, the self-care is one's
Maybe it's
mental
when to
health.
seek professional help. Let's start there.
Okay, if you have difficulty sleeping, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
And difficulty sleeping can be from having a hard day at work, depends on what type of job you have. It could be physical, or if you are one that's in an office and you have to do reports and stuff like that, that is more on, what do you say, Hillary?
Well, difficulty sleeping could be, not being restless,
No,
walking around at night, not being able to have a full nap, having nightmares, having migraines when you're sleeping. It could be multiple different things that you could be experiencing and consider difficult sleeping. It's going against the actual pattern of sleeping. Now, they have some people now that, like myself, I only need 3 to 5 hours of sleep. That is not a sign if you already have difficulty sleeping. It's the change in your pattern. And I always go by patterns. I always talk about patterns and whatever. So if your pattern changes to a point where it's now disrupting your natural normal life, that's what's considered difficult sleep.
Okay, so you have the difficulty sleeping, you have appetite changes that result in unwanted weight changes.
Mm-hmm.
This could be overeating, under eating, not eating enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another sign.
Yep. Not eating enough.
Struggling to get out of bed in the morning because you're in a bad mood,
Mm-hmm.
or waking up thinking negative. You just wake up from sleeping, you have negative thoughts already, you haven't gotten up, and you just don't want to move from your bed.
Right.
So that's one. The difficulty concentrating, difficulty focusing on the simplest of tasks. And Victor is saying in the chat, when you don't want to boot knock.
I guess
What do you
sex, when
think?
you don't want to have sex. I think is
Boot
that
knock.
what it is? Is that what you're saying?
Or they say when you don't want to have sex, boot knock. That is street talk. Lots of interest in things you usually find enjoyable. That's one that you see.
Yeah.
That's one that you will notice first off. That's one that can be highlighted. He's asking for a friend. Okay. So lots of interesting things you usually find enjoyable and able to perform usual daily functions and responsibilities. So not being focused, difficulty concentrating, struggling to get out of bed, changing appetite, and difficulty sleeping. If you have anyone in your circle, if those signs could be someone at your workplace, someone on your sports team, in part of your and once anyone in your environment, you can, see if any of these are their symptoms and have a talk with them. Sometimes people just need to have an ear, just need someone to listen. So don't wait until your symptoms or their symptoms are overwhelming.
I can't. I cannot. They keep going up and down
talk
and
about
up.
your
I don't know. These are my children, people.
Talk about your concerns with your
Yeah, go on.
primary care provider.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying procrastinating.
Procrastinating. Yep, that's definitely a sign of. Now there's procrastination and then there's procrastination.
So he
Okay.
has a question mark.
Mm-hmm. Procrastinating, where you
That
already
was
had that
something
habit.
struggling to get out of bed in the morning because of your mood.
Yeah,
Keep
procrastinate
putting things off.
because you already had the habit
Mm-hmm.
before. It could be where you're how you were raised or whatever. That's different. But when you have a normal way of your normal life, what you were consider your normal life, and then it transitioned over to now you're not wanting to do something that you would normally do. For example, your favorite hobby, or
Mm-hmm.
play with your kids, or work on something a project you normally work on, or even
So in other
go
words,
to
you change
work.
the norm.
Even I'll tell you one that people are going to go, oh my God, I did that. Go to the restroom. When you're going through depression, going to the restroom becomes like this magnified task. Okay. You don't want to get up out of bed. You don't want to get up off the chair. You don't want to move, because just moving is having to do something. And to go to the restroom or bathroom that's an inside joke.
That's the inside joke, people.
Yeah. That becomes like the biggest task of the day. And I went through a time in my life where I was dealing with depression, and I would cry to the point where I was in so much pain, and I did not want to get up off the armoire that I was lying on to go to the restroom. It took me hours before I would even get there. Okay? So that's what struggle looks like when it comes to depression. It is, when you look at it, when I look back
You don't
at
want
it,
to
I'm
take care
like,
of yourself, you're saying?
sorry?
You don't feel to take care of yourself?
No.
Is that one of the things that
No.
thing?
That's more. That's more. To take care of yourselves means that I have to do something. And I'm already telling you that I can't do something. And you're asking me to do something. You know? The thought of taking care of yourself, first of all, I'm thinking I'm not worth anything anyway, so why would I take care of myself? I don't think I'm worth it. You know? It's one of those things where you're caught in this cycle of these words in your head telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not worth it, and everything is bad and everyone's against you, and all these different things that are going on in your head, that you cannot separate what's real anymore, and it becomes exhausting, you know. And so some people turn to different things. Some people turn to sex, some people turn to food, some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to drugs, some people turn to abuse. There's so many different ways of holding on and anchoring onto that depression, right?
And in some cases, some persons might turn to exercising, whereas they need to keep themselves active all the time to not to think about it.
Yep. And it could even, that's where the eating disorders come in, right? Anorexia, bulimia. I mean, there's so much body dysmorphia that goes on with depression, anxiety. Baby Eiffel says, if you're, actually, Hot Tea with Pleasure, we have our specialist in there. She said, if you're comfortable sharing your stories and how you took care of yourself, Baby Eiffel said, that's the lie of being strong. We have to listen to our friends and hear what they are not saying. I so agree with that. Sometimes denial, that they are fine. When a person says to you, if you said to you, how do you do it? I'm fine. See that right there? That right there for me is a red flag. Because if a person says to you, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. You have a conversation. As soon as you have a closed answer, it tells me you're not fine. And they stop doing something, she said, to cut their routine. That's true. She goes, some turn to sleep. And that's true. A lot of people do turn to sleep to get away, to escape the pain of what is their reality or what they think is reality. And that's the part, it's real for them. And we have to realize it. Although it might not be a real situation, it is real for them. Go on, Teresa, continue.
Okay, well, Victor says some persons turn to sleep, and in oral reading, I had mentioned difficulty sleeping. So, is no hard and fast rule of it, as you can see. Everyone is different, but it is going outside of what is normal for that person. So you will be able to notice stuff like this happening to a person because they're going outside the norm. Stuff that they won't normally do, you find them taking part in or not taking part in.
Right.
Depends on the individual. Okay, we are at the half mark, 8:30, and we're going to take a break here. And then we're going to come back and we're going to give you some tips you can get started with for health, self-care, and which helps in a big way with your mental health. So we will be right back. Stay tuned to Hot Tea with Pleasures and see you soon.
Okay.
Cause when fly friend sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give me my dinner to another woman. Chicken go down low, when I come up so. Cause when fly friend sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give me my dinner to another woman. Chicken go down low, when I come up so. Cause when fly friend sugar.
Okay, we're back. All right. Where do you want to go from here, Teresa?
Yes. Welcome back. And like I said before we tune out, we will bring you some tips, some self-care tips,
Oh,
things to do to
oh, I
help
gotta talk
you.
about that. Sorry, Baby Eiffel said something,
Sorry?
and I want to say something to the black community right now, and I hope everybody's listening to this, and I hope the medical community is listening to this one. So Baby Eiffel made a good point. She said, "Don't forget the vitamins and minerals," and that is so important. Okay, now I have a doctor. My doctor is amazing. He's awesome. Like, this guy is. I can't. I'm not sure if I could say his name, but I'll leave it out. Okay. Anyhow, I had an issue where I thought I had high blood pressure, and so that in itself creates mental health for you, because you're like, oh my God, what comes along with high blood pressure, stroke, heart attack, all kind of different things, right? So I went into him, and he said something to me and did something for me to show me that when it comes to black people, African American, African Canadians, African Caribbeans, when it comes to blacks, it might not be high blood pressure you're experiencing, okay? Okay? It might be that we have PTSD from the whole slavery experience, and it's still transitioning through the generations. And so things that he calls it situational high blood pressure, in that things that he as a white man, he said, would react to, he said his body, he wouldn't react to, for example, a hospital, a doctor walking in a room, a police officer walking by, any person of authority walking by or entering a room. He would not react to it. His body would not even move. He said it's the same thing as if I kick your foot. My body and your body will be the same. Maybe we'll handle pain differently, but when it comes to those kind of things, we tend to handle it differently, and that in itself is a mental health issue. So yeah, vitamins and minerals and keeping that body healthy is very important to your mental health. So we're going to talk about some stuff that we can do to help self-care, self-love, self-worth. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. When it comes to your mental health and self-care can help you manage stress, lower your risk of illness, and increase your energy. Even small acts of self-care in your daily life can have a big impact. So I'm going to give you some tips to get you started. So get your notepads and pens out, and here we go. Get regular exercise. What about you, Hillary? What is your exercise routine like these days?
Oh, I work out. I work out every day, except when I'm sick. Except when I'm sick. I have a gym downstairs that I built during COVID, and I work out. Yeah. So my routine consists of various machines, and then, but you know what I do to get started? Because I like dancing.
The
right?
music.
I love
You
music.
put holiday.
No, we're gonna talk a little bit about that at the end of the show, and that's part of our mental health. Yeah, I put on music and I start dancing and stuff like that, and then after I do that for like 15 minutes to get myself pumped and ready, and then I start with a lot of weight training, exercise, and and yeah, that's what I do, and I go for hikes, of course.
Okay, for me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for an hour first in the morning, 5 to 6, is workout. Actually leave home and go to work with others. Also, we have in the same group, we have like a exercise chart for the month, whether it is planks, whether it's burpees, whether it's a combination of, each person is responsible to do that set of exercise a day for that month. And then the 3 days a week we link up. On Saturdays, I will go hiking, which is from about 3-4 hours, depending on the weather. And I was invited to another hike now on Tuesday evening, so I'll see how that goes.
We should start doing a hiking thing, because we both do hiking, and we both are out there for about 3-4 hours. So we should do some kind of something.
Is drop pictures in.
Yeah.
You can do a little 15-minute piece on YouTube.
Yeah, we should.
Different views of Barbados and Canada.
Yeah, because you see snakes on my little walk.
On your walk.
Yeah, I normally see snakes here.
Okay. we see cows. So we passed Cow Williams. He had a section in the country where he have a lot of cows, the red bulls and the dairy cows. We passed a lot of, so you get to see domesticated animals more so. I don't hardly ever see monkeys when we go hiking, although we in
I saw
the
monkeys down there a lot when I came down. I saw about 5 monkeys altogether. Yeah,
Hillary, you count them.
I did.
So
Because I didn't get a picture. I was gonna take a picture. I didn't get a chance to take
don't
a
worry, I
picture.
can get a picture and send it for you.
Send to
Small
Nicolette.
amount of small amount of exercise, this is something to that add up. So don't be discouraged if you can do say 15, 30 minutes at a time. It all adds up.
Remember, I used to be 418 pounds, and how I started was I would walk. When I first walked, it literally was a 5 minute. I laugh about it now, but it was a 5 minute walk, and I lost my breath. I couldn't breathe. I got to the stop sign. I was like, oh God, girl, I am not gonna make it back home, because it was like 5 minutes there and then 5 minutes back. So even if it's just sitting in your chair and doing weight exercises or stretches, I do these 15-minute stretches in the morning. It's moving your body.
Even with your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one because in my job, I find Victor is saying, look on the mirror and about the picture of the monkey. Oh my goodness.
What?
Hillary.
What?
In other words, look in the mirror and you see the monkey. That's what he's
You
saying.
need Jesus, boy. He is our mental
Jesus is
health.
what he wants.
I see Rudy's not here, and that's why he's misbehaving.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So Teresa,
Right.
I saw in your on your feed on Instagram, because Teresa has a business called Recent Nicole, and I saw there was a video. Maybe it was your video on your feed, or maybe it was on your status on your
story.
WhatsApp. There was a older gentleman, and he was exercising
Yes,
with the ball.
that was about
Yeah.
to say.
Mm-hmm.
He that particular day. So whenever I go to home visits, especially when they're elderly,
Mm-hmm.
how I find them, I started from there. Because some of them might say, "Oh, I don't want to get up and go and do stuff. They don't want to go for a walk, that kind of thing." So how if I found him in his room,
Yeah.
so we just grabbed the ball, started doing exercises, and he's very disciplined in doing his exercises. Because his doctor gave him a set of exercises to keep him
Right.
mobile and active.
Mhm.
And I also give him exercise. So he's very disciplined in that. And then afterwards, he gets massage. So, and we have a lot of laughs and talks about stuff.
Oh, okay. And then there's
Very-
eating
very
healthy.
exercise. Sorry?
Yeah, and then there's eating healthy and regular meals and
Okay.
staying hydrated. Let me
Yes,
explain something to people who are over 50 years old. You need water. Like, I'm telling you, I didn't realize. I mean, I used to drink a lot of water all the time, but damn. I'm addicted to tea. Calm down on the tea and drink a little bit more water, because you need to stay hydrated. And Teresa, did I share with you that recipe that my doctor gave me? My doctor's awesome. He gave me this recipe to lower high blood pressure instantly. And so it's tomatoes. It's tomatoes.
Is juice in it or?
No, you're
Just
frying
eating
it in extra virgin vinegar, olive oil. So it's a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You put in the onions, a handful of onions, handful of garlic, and 1 tomato, and then you add black pepper. Season that up with just black pepper. That's
Is
it.
he black pepper?
Just black pepper.
Only today we were talking about that on our
Yeah,
hike.
only black pepper.
Pepper?
And then you take it, you can either serve it hot or cold, and it can go on every single thing that you eat. So just put a spoonful of it on every single thing that you eat, and it lowers your blood
Can you say
pressure.
that again so that Nicolette can put it in the chat with me?
Yeah, I'll send her the
description?
recipe. I'll send it.
Okay, good. And
Yeah,
we
so
can
I
add-
use the Mediterranean
Can't
way
be
of eating,
helpful.
except for chicken. I don't do chicken, and yeah, I'll eat fish, but not chicken. And I don't really eat eggs. I'll eat beans instead and lentils. But that it actually does work. And what happened was, it actually helped with that whole problem I was having. It lowered it completely, and I shared it with multiple people, and it's been working for
They
some
have
for
good
some,
results
not for
with
all.
them.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good. A lot of natural stuff we can do to help with the different ailments and diseases that we have. So that's good.
yeah.
Oh, and the caffeinated beverages, soft drinks, and coffee, we
Oh,
need to leave that out.
well, you can have one
Leave
coffee a
that out
week.
and limit our caffeine intake. That's
Yeah,
one
you
of
can
the
have a
things
cup of coffee a day.
because coffee
Yeah,
coffee dehydrates you, whereas
I
water
know, but you
hydrates
can
you.
have one a day. I have my list.
Like I said, limit. I didn't say don't take
Oh,
it.
wait,
Limit.
wait, hold on. I gotta share this one, Therese. What do you call it? The wine, the red wine.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 5 ounces of red wine. Sorry, 10 ounces of warm water a day.
That's one of the that's it. So
Oh God.
oh my goodness. Make sleep a priority. Stick to a schedule and make sure you're getting enough sleep. Blue light, if you're like Hillary, your rain noises from your device and screen can make it harder to fall asleep. Well, the blue light reduces the exposure from your phone or your computer before bedtime. Now, listen, people, the bedroom is for sleeping. You see that TV? Don't
Turn it
have that
off.
TV on right by sleep.
Ahem.
You can
Turn
have your
TV
blue
off.
music and whatever else, but you want to watch TV, go outside. And
Yeah.
nowadays, the smart TVs, when they're off, they're not off.
For those
Okay.
who watch television while they're sleeping, or sorry, while they're awake or about to go to sleep, just remember that everything your memory hears right before it goes to sleep is everything it hears while it's sleeping. Okay, your body behaves based on what you last
Yes.
did before you went to sleep.
And when you have noise around you when you're sleeping, it's just like a baby. A
Yep.
baby can go sleep in noise,
Yep.
but from the time that noise stops,
Yep.
the baby wakes up.
Mhm.
So that just goes to show, although you're asleep, what they call your subconscious,
Yep.
you're
It's still
you're still
working.
feeding that noise around you. So make sleep a priority. Try a relaxing activity. Explore relaxation or the wellness programs on your apps. I think yoga is a nice one. Breathing exercise is another one. And that's one thing I saw on Instagram that keeps popping up on my page. I don't know because of the different things that I follow, but there's this guy he actually has a class on breathing exercises.
Oh, deep breathing is a thing. It works.
Yep.
Yoga, I am
breathing
very much so for
exercises.
yoga. I take yoga. I do yoga as well. So I love that deep breathing. I use it. You know what I use deep breathing for too? The restroom. Like you would never believe. Like there's so.
Okay.
It's true. No. Listen,
That goes in
listen. Your
priorities.
colon, your health is very important, and making sure that you're doing the right things are very important, and that is part of health.
You do your woosah to let everything flow from your colon.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, look at the time. Set goals and priorities. Decide
Okay.
what must get done now and what can wait. And we know how that goes. We have tasks that we need to have done now, and some tasks that we can put off to another time. Not ignoring the chat. Talk to me nice. I'm not sure what that is. And best decisions are made in the porcelain throw.
I agree. Toilet therapy. Come to my workshop.
Okay, practice gratitude. Remind yourself daily of things that you're grateful for, and I like that. Be specific. Write them down at night and replay them in your mind.
Or in the restroom.
Focus on positivity. Identify and challenge your negative and unhelpful thoughts. So when you are down and out, oh, I don't feel like getting out of bed, just think about something. You know what? I have something in the fridge. I have a salad in the fridge. I have a fruit salad. I have that, Hillary, that red wine that I can have a sip of with
Or that
some
bath.
crackers.
You know my
Yeah.
friend. Yeah. What do you do, Teresa, for like a nice mental health break? Like, what is that little routine that you do?
Beach.
Oh yeah, that's right. You sent me the videos.
Beach.
Yeah, I like you.
Just go sit on the beach and just hear the waves crashing. Like, oh, you
I
have
have a
your
lake.
music.
Does that matter?
The waves are gonna crash the same way.
In no ways, girl.
You're gonna have
But
some ripples.
you know what I do? I go on like a Friday, for example. I would have my bottle of wine. I'm not gonna have the whole bottle. I'll have a glass of wine. Shut up,
We know
Teresa.
better. We know
I have a
better.
glass of
So
wine. I have a dark chocolate, and I have bubble bath going. And I am in there. I have my music going or a movie going, and I close the door and I just kind of escape for a couple of hours. I normally do that. But
you slide down and get a little dive and come back
yeah,
up and get your
but
head and that kind of stuff.
oh, I have a pillow. I have a nice pillow in there, girl, for my for the bath.
Okay.
Now, one thing that we need to do as part of that practicing gratitude is gratitude to ourselves, using warm words to ourselves instead of harsh words.
Wait a minute, Hillary. Victor said take your charge. You're gonna be on that
He
porcelain
should take his
sofa.
charger, I say. Anyways,
Yeah, that little, go ahead.
yeah. Practicing warm words to yourself is very important. We tend to be so hard on ourselves, and who can hear yourself more than you, right? And if you're saying all these negative things to yourselves over and over again, after a while, yourself starts to believe it and start to act on it. So
And then you have to fight to get yourself out
exactly.
of that place.
Yeah. So practice some warm words to yourself. I used to have a routine for my kids, and it actually worked. Backfired a little bit, but I would say, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm wonderful, I'm going to have a great day today. Even if it's a bad day, it's going to be a great day because I'm present. And we would do that in the morning, right? And just continually do that and say fake it until you make it, kind of thing, until it became a reality, right? So focus on
Okay.
positivity.
And stay connected. Reach out to your friends, your family members, persons that provide emotional support and practically help you.
Yeah. And
So
know what a
that's
friend
a nice
is.
one.
Know what a friend is.
My takeaways, I have at least two from here, is the exercise one along with the say three, because two, exercise and healthy regular meals and staying hydrated. Those two can go together. And the next one is the setting goals. No, sleeping as well. Make sleep a priority.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we get in the groove of
Can
stuff,
I
we
can I
go in,
steer
go
it
in,
back
go in.
a little bit because I think we kind of went off task a little bit. What do you think caused all of the increased suicides in Barbados after the pandemic? And we want to blame the pandemic for it, but I think there's other factors that played a part in this increased suicide rate. And for
What was
Barbados,
your-
Barbados had a consistent suicide rate of 0.6% for many, many years. And so to see this height, even if it was considered compared to North America or Europe or whatever to be considered low, it is still high for the island, right? So what do you think caused that hike to happen outside of the pandemic being a stressor for many and trigger for many people?
I think stress and persons are putting themselves under pressure. Because even with the financial institutions, I think some of them realize that persons with credit cards, for me for one, I find my bank, I realized, hey, I didn't get a statement to go and pay my credit card. And when I inquired about it, they said because of the pandemic and we don't know how things are going, we put the credit cards on hold. You can still use them. However, in terms of paying them back every monthly, that is on hold. And they did that for about 6 months. They did that for about 6 months, and that eased some of the pressure off of persons. And then, yeah, and that was it from mine. That's it from
Do you think?
persons not knowing how they're gonna feed their families.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't everyone that was able to work from home, because some jobs are basically physical. You have to go there to do something. Some others could be on the computer and doing their business from that. not being able to move around. For children, I know a lot of friends, they started getting pets for their children to help occupy them. Birds, fish, puppies, kittens, that type of stuff. So that helped them in that aspect.
Do you think also too the fact that we don't talk about mental health sometimes in you know in the Black community in the Caribbean especially too, uh, about not being okay, and being expected to be okay and to handle it and get over it, and you know it's tough times, it's okay, and having that kind of attitude towards it. Do you think that that could be a reasoning as well, not knowing where to go, knowing how to ask for help, knowing that you're not okay? Do you think that that could have added to the hike as well?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Because I find a lot of, like you said, a lot of people shy away because one, having to talk about something like your mental health,
Mm-hmm.
persons, they're not going to be as open because, like you said, the stigma that is attached to what they call Jenkins. But it's not everyone that goes to Jenkins has what we call a madman.
Mm-hmm.
Some person may be dealing with, learning how to cope. That's the other thing. But there are so many different sections within the psychiatric hospital, what they call Jenkins or Black Rock. It's not just, when you're a madman, as they say, because a lot of
But that's
people,
right
some
there
people can feel,
itself is a stigma and stereotype that the person has to be mad. You know.
but that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, that's what it was referred to.
Yeah, that's
Once
what I was
you
saying
went there,
earlier.
you're a madman, you're a
Mm-hmm.
crazy person. It's nothing to
Yeah.
do with mental issue, as might be a case that you lost a family member
Mm-hmm.
and
Depression.
depression puts you
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You might lost a job and it puts you there, but I guess because everything is in the same place and is mainly known for being a psychiatric hospital,
Mm-hmm.
no one looks at it in a different light. So
Right.
that's what the stigma attached to it. And people just kept silent about what they were going through.
Mm-hmm.
They never talk about it.
And I know that the prime minister is doing. She has this plan for 2035 or 2030, where she's trying to do a whole overhaul of the entire island to get it up to, you know, from electronics to IT to mental health to all of that, where Barbados is a place of balance, right? Work-life balance,
Beautifying the place.
everything. Yeah, but I think what the one piece that's missing is the cultural aspect and addressing that and the fears of feeling not okay. That needs to be addressed as well. And we have to be realistic about that and be real and honest about that. That we in our community do not see it as a main issue. It's now becoming more, more conversational piece. But before, and still with some older folks, they're still saying, "Oh, you get over it," you know. "Oh, what's the big deal?" Or "Why you can't handle it?" "Why, or you're soft," or now destroying the character of that individual. So we have to look at that piece for it to move. So to say all that, we're coming to the end here. Mental health looks different for many people. In Barbados, we ask that you reach out to the suicide line if you need help. There is the psychiatric hospital in Black Rock if you need help. To your friend, to your family, to your teacher, to your principal, to anyone that would listen. If you need help, ask. Don't sit and say, no one cares about me. Someone cares about someone sometime. Self-care looks different to everyone, and it's important to find what you need and enjoy. It may take a trial or error to discover what works best for you. In addition, although self-care is not cure for mental health, understanding what causes or triggers your mild symptoms and what coping techniques work for you can help manage your mental health. You will never, I'm not going to sit here and say that you'll get rid of your fears, and but what you can do is stop letting your fears drive and steer you and put them in the passenger seat. So that is all we have for Hot Tea with Pleasure this week. Teresa, you want to talk about our dance that we're going to do?
Okay, Hillary and our social marketer are trying to come up with this challenge of this dance to the song Holiday. So if you go on to our little snippet that we did on Instagram, you will see Hillary with her song. I must say, one of the things that she got right is the I can't see. Her action, do your action for I can't see.
Anyone who does WWE knows this.
No,
I can't see.
I feel Victor. Who else was in the?
Oh, let me just read that. Sorry, one last thing that Baby Eiffel said before we get to this last piece.
Petra.
Baby Eiffel said, the question was, what do you think the height of the high suicide rate in Barbados was caused, the responsibility of it? And she said that she thanks to the economic conditions, which is what you were talking about earlier. Yeah. But yeah, so everyone in the chat.
Baby Eiffel, Victor, our social marketer who's behind the scenes.
Petra's
we
there.
challenge you to come up with a dance along
Rudy.
with
And there are other people watching because I can see the numbers up here on the back end. There are other people there present. Anyways, we're going to come up with a dance. Okay, we're going to come up with a dance to Holiday. It's by Teresa. Help me.
Problem Child.
From Barbados. From Barbados, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he's not from Barbados.
He's not from Barbados?
It was written. I think it was written by Bajan. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Anyways, it's a hot thing in Barbados. Okay. So, Problem Child's Holiday. You can go on YouTube and look it up or whatever. We're going to come up with a dance to it, and we're going to challenge all of our Hot Tea with Pleasures fans and watchers and viewers and people that in social media land. We're going to challenge you to do the dance probably better than us. But to at least get it, at least to mirror us. And whoever we decide does it the best, we'll give them a t-shirt. How about that, Teresa?
I was about to say, he's from Trinidad.
Yeah. All right, okay?
Yeah,
he's from Trinidad? Okay, Trini. Okay. Yeah. All right. But with Bajan vibes. There we go.
Indeed.
So we're going to come up with our dance, and we're going to, next week, right, Teresa? We're going to display the dance.
There you go. Coordinate to Hillary and Nicolette.
Yeah.
Along with Baby Eiffel. What's his name? Dario.
Yeah. And what we're gonna do?
Get John on.
Yeah, video yourself doing the dance and put it on our Instagram, and link it to our Instagram. And we'll be the judge of who was able to actually mirror it. But anyways, that is our time. We thank you so much for watching with us. We will put all the information about the different help tips and places to get help in Barbados for suicide. Also, and mental health, and then we'll also do it for Canada and US as well. We'll pull that from before we did a show last year, and reach out to your friend, reach out to us if you need some information, or if you want to chat about more about mental health. Reach out to us. You can see us over on our Instagram page, our Hot Tea with Pleasures, and here on every Saturday live on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is it for us. They're going to kick us off Zoom anyways. I'm Hillary in Ontario, Canada.
Teresa in beautiful island of Barbados. Thank
beautiful.
You for watching us. We keep it raw on rail. And Hillary?
Lubricate your life.
Lubricate your life.
We'll see you next Saturday, everybody. Bye.
face, that's that. Taking big swings, put your hand to the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel?